What is up, folks at home? Welcome back to the channel. Today we are going to talk about the top 5 baits that I am going to fish in the month of August. Hey, it is late summer, early fall. Things are starting to change. Patterns are starting to get different. We got 5 baits to stay on top of them. Let's go. Let's find out what we got. All right, folks, to start off, fish in the late summer are transitioning back from super deep to shallow. They're following bait fish in, they're following bluegill in. The oxygen content is better. Everything's been grenaded offshore, so the offshore bite, it's still kind of there, but the shallow bite is going to get better now through the fall, and then they're going to transition back out. So first bait I'm picking up first thing in the morning is a top water walking bait. If I'm out on the lake, first thing, I'm going to look for schooling fish, shallow and deep. Literally, the schooling bite this time of the year, it's not going to last quite as long, but the schooling bite is something that you can really take advantage of and really capitalize on. There are 2 lures that I'm going to really focus on that schooling bite for on any lake that I'm on. First one is a topwater walking bait. Here's the Strike King Sexy Dawg Jr. And this bait at 90 centimeters is fantastic, right? And what I like to do with this is I like to walk this around any kind of visible cover that you have. Docks, walkways, things like that are great. Some lakes have laydowns or rocks or whatever it is. This bait walking is fantastic. The other place I like to throw this is out where that drop off is and fish are schooling up. They're pinning bait fish into those areas and blowing them up. That is the bait that I'm gonna throw. This is gonna get bites all the time until the sun is really high in the sky. They're gonna come unglued for that top water walking bait. I like the smaller size this time of year. They're not gonna commit to it as much, but they will commit to it. You can get bites on a bigger size walking bait, but the smaller size is definitely gonna play. Just, it's one of those baits that you really trust to get you bites and to close the gap. I really enjoy throwing this bait this time of year. The second bait that I'm gonna throw is a Rattle Worm 4.5. Anywhere that there's schooling fish or fish pinned up, I'm going to throw this pearl colored Rattle Worm 4.5, and I'm going to throw it on a Texas rig around weeds or cover, and I'm going to throw it on a nose hook around anything else. What I'm doing is I'm fishing it just like a fluke. I'm twitching it. It's got that nice rattle in the tail, and what I'm really looking for here is sometimes fish really want something falling down in the water column. They'll follow that top water, but they won't commit. So what this Rattle Worm does is it's falling through the column like that, and then it's twitching and very erratic. It's got that nice rattle to it. Fish will come unglued for a Texas rigged or a nose rigged Rattle Worm. There's a ton of colors. I like the pearl flake, but also this time of year when that bluegill bite is going on, I like the baby bass color of the Rattle Worm 4.5. It's got that nice green back on it. It's very natural, very good looking. At 4.5 inches, it's the perfect size to mimic those bait fish right now. Really enjoy throwing either one of these colors right now. You can't go wrong throwing it. Flukes are going to get bit everywhere. This Rattle Worm is going to get bit everywhere. It excels weightless, so make sure you check those out. Also, if you want to buy some Rattle Worms, use code BASSINSIGHTS at checkout. You'll get free shipping on those bad boys. So check out these baits. They're awesome this time of the year for schooling bass. Now, let's fast forward. After you got that early morning schooling bite, that active bite, things are going to kind of chill out. The lake gets hot, it gets grenaded. There's another pattern that I'm going to look for, and that pattern becomes docks, right? Docks or shade. And what I'm going to throw in docks or shade, you guessed it if you've watched the channel at all, the Megabass Dark Sleeper in 3/8 ounce or half ounce are a literal killer skipped up underneath docks. I like to throw them in the lighter version too. That 3/8 really is a nice sweet point for what those baits are going to do for you. But if you skip this bait up under any kind of dock, you're going to catch whatever's under there, right? In a close second, but the same, I consider them the same. They're interchangeable. You have the Savage Gear Structure Gill, and literally they are one and the same. The biggest difference is in the tail. This one has a little bit of a kicking tail on it. This one has your traditional boot tail. But the big difference is price in these. They do the same things and they perform the same action. This one's $8. This one's $4, right? Half the price, same action, same hookup ratio, same everything. I've put them both to the test. They both catch fish, right? But what I'm doing with these is I'm skipping them up under docks. Anywhere that there's overhanging cover, I'm going to throw this lure and it's going to get bit. Now, on the flip side, if I can find veins of rock anywhere, this is also the bait that I'm going to throw. For some reason, this time of the year, fish are going to sit on rock more than anything else. So I'm going to end up throwing these baits on rock veins and bumping them through there because it looks like a bluegill coming through there, and they will absolutely positively come unglued for these baits. So Savage Gear Structure Gill or the Megabass Dark Sleeper, great options to throw right there. Now, the next bait takes us to our third pattern that I'm going to look for on any natural lake that I'm fishing, or just any lake in general that I'm fishing, and that is the deep structure bite. As the day gets hotter, if there's not a lot of shallow structure in your lake, those fish are going to pull out and hold on deep structure. And there's two baits this time of the year that I really am going to lean on. My bait simplification gets super simple this time of year, and the next thing that I'm going to throw over that deep structure is a Carolina rigged Berkley Havoc Pit Boss. And the Pit Boss is one of the greatest lures of all time, in my opinion. It's one of the greatest soft plastic lures of all time. Skeet Reese got it right when he designed this. I'm going to throw it on a Carolina rig with a 1.5 to 2 foot long monofilament leader to a 4.0 extra wide gap hook. On the front of it, I'm going to have a 1/2 ounce to 3/4 ounce weight from Woo Tungsten with a bead and a swivel. And I like the 1/2 ounce to 3/4 ounce of weight because I'm throwing this out in 20 feet of water. I want that bait to hit the bottom, and I'm going to drag it along that cover. And anytime that a Carolina rig is going to shine is when you're hitting rock, when you're hitting veins of different things down there on the bottom. That weight hits it, you feel it, that bait's 2 foot behind, so you kind of jiggle it over that, and it really, really, really draws those fish in. The Carolina rig is also great on sand flats and grass flats that are populated by fish up here in the north. You can chuck a 1/2 ounce Carolina rig a mile down the lake and drag it through there, and you will catch fish. It excels in these late summer conditions up here for us. A lot of guys end up, scratching their heads because they can't find fish this time of year because they're on the move. The Carolina rig is a great way to get that deep bite and really contact it. I like him in green pumpkin black flake or black and blue sapphire flake right here if the water's a little off color. Fantastic thing. And the last bait that I begin to pick up later in the summer now that I've gotten away from a little bit since the spring is the Swimbait, and specifically right now the hollow body Swimbait. The water is at its peak warm temperature. The bass are at their peak activity level in terms of metabolism. They want a big, sizable meal and an active presentation. The 5 and 6 inch hollow body Swimbait this time of the year is second to none, and I throw it in two places. One, I throw it over grass flats where there's about 6 to 8 inches of water. I'm going to throw it on a either weighted or unweighted very light 1/8 ounce 5/0 hook, and I'm going to wind it and burn it over top, and it looks really good coming over the top of those grass. And the hollow body, literally it's see-through from the bottom. They really come unglued for this bait in that situation. The second place I'm going to throw it is on deep structure. 1/2 ounce belly weighted hook or a straight up jig head. You want to wind that through that cover. It's a big meal coming through there. A lot of guys throw jerk baits. A lot of guys throw crankbaits. I've figured out that the Swimbait bite this time of the year is better than anything else because it looks super natural. It's a big meal that they can't pass up. But at the same time, that's a 6 inch Swimbait right there, 5 inch Swimbait. Bass are going to come up and they literally engulf it, and they're going to take that whole Swimbait down. So it's a great time to throw a big bait with confidence and catch fish. right? So there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 different lures that we talked about. This year fish tend to be in transition. They come in following the bait fish, following the shad, following the bluegill, back in. It's a great time to be out and power fish, right? A lot of guys slow down and throw micro baits in this late summer transition. You can do that and catch fish, but you can also power fish through this, catch a lot of fish. If you guys enjoy what's been going on the channel, give us a like, subscribe. You hit all the links in our descriptions. We link all of our stuff on Omnia where you can go and get it and have these baits too and do the same things that we're doing. Guys, we want this channel to help you out. We want this channel to be good information that can help you catch more fish. Give us a like, subscribe, leave us a comment, and we'll see you next time.